Hi, everybody. Claudia here with We're Just Two Sisters, and I'm going to take you on a quick flip through of one of my favorite little brown bag journals that I've ever made. Of course, this is an era, that we can probably, most of us, relate to. If not, we've certainly heard of the 60s and the flower children and the hippies. And so this one is about Woodstock, which was 3 days of peace, love, and music that took place in New York in August of 1969. And I just had so much fun putting this together. I was only 13 at the time, so I was, although intrigued by it and definitely into a lot of the music of that era. Certainly living in California, going to New York was not in the cards for me. But I've throughout the years, I've always cherished the memories that people have had about the Woodstock concert. And I recently found a little book at a thrift store that was a pictorial of the Woodstock concert. So I used that book to put together this little journal. Brown bag journals are always the same size. They're 6x4. They typically have a sewn-in signature. This one has a sewn-in signature that is covered by this piece of vintage cloth with the musical notes on the back. I've decorated both the back and the front of this little journal with posters from the Woodstock concert on front and back, and I've also embossed that so it creates a little bit of a dimension and texture there. The covers and most of the inside adornments are sewn on. It's also sewn around the edges, which gives it a vintage look and in addition provides some additional stability for the paper itself. So when you open this up, the very first page is Janis Joplin. It has a pull-out here with Sly Stone. And on the back is Bob Dylan. Oh no, that's not Bob Dylan. I'm sorry, that's Arlo Guthrie. And these are all the performers that were on stage at the Woodstock concert. And several of these, this one has Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Joe Cocker, Creedence Clearwater, Joan Baez, Canned Heat, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Jefferson Airplane, just a lot of, incredible musicians that that we love. And I've found, actually, it's interesting, my nieces and nephews, as well as my teenage grandchildren, really enjoy the music of that era, which is really cool that they do. This also has a little card in it that says Groovy Way, Gentle Path, Highway. And again, these are all photographs that are specifically from the book that was the pictorial of the Woodstock concert. I really like this poster. Again, 3 days of peace and music. This is the journal itself. The journal is sewn in, and again, that's covered up by the piece of cloth. The journal, let's open up the journal, and the very first page of the journal, the inside cover, there's this great little "Have a nice day," which was definitely a popular saying of that time. It has two little tags here. This one is Jefferson Airplane, I believe, with the cool peace sign little medallion. And this, I believe, is The Who, with the little flower power medallion. And then behind that, I believe that is also Roger Daltrey. I could be wrong, but I believe that's who that is. And those just go in there. And then on this side, it has a little belly band with the VW bus with all the peace signs on it. Typically, what would have been driven to the concert. This little folio or little tablet that has this really cool musical note on it. It also has, again, performers and then photographs that were taken actually at the concert with some space there on the back. And I like this little tag because it can go down over the top of that, holds it in just a little bit better. And that just slides down into that band. This has a lot of really interesting paper I've actually embellished quite a few of the inside of this journal just because I had such an abundance of things to work with. But the paper in this one ranges from vintage writing paper to invoices, some tracing paper. Here's a page that just has some kind of psychedelic paper. I've put a corner pocket there and included these photographs. There's kind of the bikers at the concert. Just really cool photographs that depict not only that concert, but certainly that era. Again, lots of blank pages for you to write on. Here's another piece of artwork. Woodstock 1969, 3 days of peace, love, and music. And then this center page of the journal, I've actually decorated quite a bit. I've added this, what's called a slit pocket. It has all these little slits that you can slide things in. In this, I have put all of these little tickets to Woodstock on Friday, on Saturday, tickets to Woodstock on Saturday again. Here's a little newspaper article that has the song Woodstock, and I believe that was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Here's another little newspaper article. 200,000 bound for rock festival jams roads upstate. Guess the New Yorkers weren't too happy about all of that. Another ticket for all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, cost you $18 to go for all 3 days. And then this also has this little photograph here, one of my very favorites of all time, which is Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Very sad that David Crosby's recent passing. But, you know, he lived a good life. He lived with a lot of gusto, I would say. And these just slide right back into these little pockets, you know, any way you'd like to arrange them. Or, as I said, you can move things around and put them in different spots if you choose to. And this little slit pocket has a really cool piece of flowered material with the pea stove. On this side, there's a corner pocket that has several things in it. It has another news article, 300,000 head home after Woodstock, from the New York Daily News. Also in this little pocket, there's a picture here. I know who that is, but at the moment I can't recall. And then also, this is another Woodstock poster, Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, which were very, very popular at that time, and what I guess we would consider headliners for that concert, in addition to Jimi Hendrix. Another Gone Too Soon artist. And then on this side, I've added this little corrugated paper, which I thought was really cool, kind of depicted a rustic look. And I've cut out another one of the photographs from the book of folks who attended the concert. There's some additional performers that you'll find. Joan Baez, just kind of intermixed here. Grateful Dead, attendees of the concert. Johnny Winter, or is that Edgar Winter? I don't remember at the moment. Really cool little corner pocket that kind of depicts the material that was used for a lot of clothing that people would wear back in that era. On this side, you've got a flap there that has a pocket. Carlos Santana, again, Carlos Santana. More folks just really having a great time at the concert. These go right down into this little pocket. I love Carlos Santana. And then you open this up, and there it's a trifold. Joe Cocker. Here's a little tablet that again has, you know, the concert goers, lots of paper to write, you know, little notes or whatever you'd like, with the pocket here. page dedicated to Jimi Hendrix. It has another little pocket with some writing, embossed writing. Traffic uptight at Hippie Fest. Another newspaper article. This pulls out, and it's a little envelope. Envelope is finished on the front and back. Back is a magazine article, and then more. It went from 200,000 to 300,000, and this one says 400,000 people. And this is sewn all the way around, kind of cool vintage look. And I've just put a lot of stuff in this because I had so much left over. Here's another magazine article, and there's a cool picture of concert goers. This has Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Carlos Santana, Joan Baez. I think this one is Joan Baez, actually. Concert goers, more concert goers. And I also included this fun little sticker that was just in my stash of stuff. It says good vibes only. And I felt like that's something that someone would have had that attended this concert. It's definitely what it was all about. So lots of stuff in the little envelope. The little envelope just slides right down into this pocket. And I like to pull this over this way so that it adds another dimension here. And this closes this way, and this closes this way. And on the back, again, is that lovely poster. And it all ties together with this cool gold ribbon. So I hope you were inspired by walking through this little brown bag journal. Hopefully you've been inspired to make one on your own. Or if you were interested in purchasing this one, while it lasts, it is going to be posted on our Etsy store, and that's www.we'rejusttwosisters.etsy.com. That's We're Just Two Sisters with the number 2. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to walk through this little video, and I hope you have a peace, love, and music kind of day. Thanks again.